Hey again, and this is the Theory Workbook Level 1B. Just doing a couple pages here, page 25 and 26. So 25 is continuing with the whole triads thing. They want you to just name a few things. So the three notes in a C major triad are, the root is a C, right, E and G. And you just do the same thing for G major, F major, right? So they're just talking about root position triads. So the name of that triad, that letter should be the root, right? And then you're stacking thirds on top. The next part is complete the missing note in each of the triad examples below. Use whole notes, right? Whole notes meaning just empty circles, right? No stems or anything. So if you're doing like this one, C, E, G, you're just putting the G on top, C major triad, right? Not difficult. Sometimes you have to stuff it in the middle. Sometimes you have to figure out, does it go on top or on the bottom? So like this one, they want an F triad. That's an A and a C, so you gotta stick the F here, right? So just figure out which note is missing and stick it in there. Same with bass clef, right, left hand. Here, build a triad up from each root, right? So they give you the bottom note. You're just stacking a third and a third. So like this one, you're sticking the A here and then the C on top of that. So when you're building these, they should all be in thirds. There should not be extra space between the notes, right? So just like a snowman. Then towards the bottom, identify these broken chords, right? So we were looking at these stacked blocked chords, right? When you have three notes played together at the same time. Broken just means it's the same three notes, it's just one at a time, usually from the bottom up. So that's F, that's A, that's C, that's still an F major triad. So for all of these F, A, C, that's the same as what we just had. Here you're just going to write, identify it, it's an F triad, so just write F. Right, same with this one. You just, if you look at the bottom note, it's a C triad. These are all root position. Right, so just write the bottom letter and you'll be good to go. Page 26 gets a little harder, if I can turn the page. So this is where they start to invert. So we have our root position, C, E, G, right? First inversions takes the C and sticks it on the top, right? The E and G are still in the same place, right? But it's like doing a little cartwheel, right? C is up here. And then if you invert it again to second inversion, you're taking the E and sticking that on top. So what it looks like under your hand, like here's your C triad, right? Those three notes. So if you're inverting, you're taking the C and sticking on the top. So you're going to hold on to the E, hold on to the G, but the C goes up here. So what you're seeing is now you have a third and then a fourth, right? And that's what the triad looks like here too, right? You've got a third and then a fourth on top. And then the second inversion, so back to our first inversion, right? We're taking the E, right? Hold on to the G and C and stick the E on the top, right? So now we have the fourth here, third up here, right? So the rule of thumb, as we've seen, if you're doing a root position triad, it should just stack like this, right? If you have a first inversion triad, because you did that flip and stuck the bottom note on the top, you should have more space here, right? So there's a third and the fourth. Second inversion, just like we looked at, now you have the fourth on the bottom and the third on the top. So that's always what they look like. This is going to be root position, first inversion, second inversion, right? No matter what key it's in, which major or minor later, that's going to be the shape. Root positions like this. First inversion is always a big space on the top. Second inversion, big space on the bottom. All right, so you're going to see the same thing in G major, right? First inversion has the fourth. Second inversion has the fourth on the bottom, right? Same with F major. Right, so when you have these triads, you notice what happened with the root. When we inverted to first inversion, we stuck the C on the top, right? So when you're in first inversion, that top note is your root. Second inversion, the middle note is your root. So the rule is basically, if you're in root position, your root should be at the bottom. If you're in first inversion, right, you're looking at this big space. It's the top of this big space. There's your root. And this one also, there's your root. So look for the fourth. The top note should be the root of your triad. Alrighty, so we're looking at the parts you need to work on. So it says learn to recognize triads and chord inversions on the keyboard. Fill in the blanks on the white keys below. Right, then name each bracketed chord, C, G, or F. Identify the chord position. All right, so some of these are easier than others. They did that first one. let's do this one. So we're starting, this is an E, right? This is a G, and then this is a C up here, right? So just naming the letters. And then figuring out which one it is, right? E, G, and C. If you compare to what we've got up there, it's the same as this one, right? E, G, C. It's the same as C, E, G, but it's just because of the order of the letters, it's in first inversion, right? So here you're going to write, just like their example, this is C major, and it's first inversion, right? Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Some of these are root positions, some are first inversion, some are second inversion. Let's take a look at, this is almost at the very end, this one, because you can see that shape. There's a fourth here, third here, right? That should be a second inversion. So let's figure out our letters. So this is a C, this is an F, and that's an A. So indeed, right? And again, if you look at the big space at the top of it, that should be your root. That's an F, right? So an F triad. So let's back up and make sure C, F, A, looking at the top, here it is. There's C, F, A, second inversion, F major, right? So let's stick that here. So we've got F, and then second inversion, right? And that's it. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. This page is a little confusing. Let me know if you have questions. Okay, thanks.